Today I'm going to be talking about the third EP from one of my very favorite bands, Dear Boy. The EP is titled the Strawberry EP, and man, I stayed up until 12 o'clock just to listen to this and write my review and obviously record it. I don't really do that for music anymore because, working and, life finding a way to get in the way and all that hogwash, it prevents me from staying up late for music releases and such. But anyway, the Strawberry EP, the third EP from Dear Boy. How is it? Well, you already know a decent portion of my opinion on this EP because I've already covered track 1, Semester, and track 5, Love Interest. Links to those videos will be in the description and at the end of the video, but I will cover them very briefly. Semester kicks the Strawberry EP off, and the song still hits and feels and sounds as fresh as it did upon first listen. I'm actually really glad that this is track 1 because I also feel like it kicks the EP off in the best way it could have possibly been kicked off. I mean, especially now listening to all the tracks in order and everything, I do feel this was really great track placement, and it really doesn't clue you in too hard into what else you're going to be hearing on this EP. So the song's good. It's a good EP opener. I still love it as much as I did when I first heard it. There's your first sign of this EP just being fantastic. But let's talk about track 2, Limelight. Limelight follows up Semester with the uppity good vibes and the swoon-filled vocals. Limelight just so happens to be my favorite track off of this EP. Reason for that is I just feel like Limelight is like the complete perfect package of the Strawberry EP. It does what Semester did, it does what Love Interest did, but it still manages to stay fresh in its very own lightened way, and it really calls for this sing-along and dance number almost. It's a very hard track to stay stationary to. Upon first listen, I had the thing in my headphones and I had to walk around my apartment a couple of times, bobbing my head, tapping my feet, just looking like a real fool, and I'm so glad my window blinds were closed, because if my neighbors caught any sight of that at 1 o'clock in the morning while I was doing that, I'm sure they probably would have called the cops on me. But yes, Limelight is truly fantastic, and truly one of the band's very best songs. If I had to pick one song off of the EP that I felt was the band's best, like the best offering off the EP, it most certainly would be Limelight, and I hope that gets the single treatment at some point. Start to finish, from listen 1 to listen 85, Limelight just feels like it's going to be one of those songs that I'm going to come back to 6 years down the line. I mean, granted, I'm probably going to return to every song off of this EP because, spoiler alert, I love every single freaking song off of this EP. It's just Limelight, it has that je ne sais quoi, I guess you could say. It's the oh so quiet and robbery love of the Strawberry EP. But then we get track 3, Something Good, an acoustic track, which unless I missed a song or I missed a release, I've never heard from Dear Boy before. And whoa, kind of fangirled a little bit when the song first started up because I'm like, wait, what? Is this it? We're finally getting an acoustic track from Dear Boy on an EP? And to no surprise, and in pure Dear Boy fashion, it's really good. Something Good is something really good. I understand that's a lame joke and I apologize, but Something Good is something beautiful. It's something fantastic. I love this track a lot. Thankfully, curiosity didn't kill the cat when it comes to this track, because I'd always been curious about what an acoustic Dear Boy track would sound like, and it came out just as beautiful as it should have. Nothing but happy with it, nothing but impressed with it. And what I like about it is that it's not a 100% acoustic song, because drums do eventually creep in, and some very soft electric guitar eventually comes in as well, with some very beautiful backing vocals. Everything behind Benjamin Gray's vocals just frames this song just picture perfectly. Everything fits, everything sounds great, everything meshes, and not to sound like a broken record, but it's beautiful, it's fresh, it's fantastic. Something about Dear Boy always, and I imagine some of you have caught on to this by now if you've watched the 2 previous videos, but something about Dear Boy just always has this very early springtime feeling to them. The freshness of their sound, like the stories that are being told, it just has this very early spring feeling for me. That's what plays in the back of my mind when I listen to Dear Boy, and thankfully that is not lost with the Strawberry EP. Moving on to track 4, Anything at All. Dear Boy continue to impress on their fruitful third EP. It's another lame joke, I apologize. And Anything at All follows Limelight very closely as my major favorite off of this EP. Obviously, Limelight takes the cake, but for a little while there, Anything at All was very, very close to dethroning it. Lyrically, vocally, instrumentally, oof. Dear Boy does it again. I just love this really brash, clumsy, and pure feeling the song gives off. And much like the rest of this EP, I know I haven't said this yet, but the track is also very cinematic as well. You know, it's one thing to listen to a song and instantaneously see eye to eye with it, but it's another thing when it's putting images in your head, when it's putting scenes in your head. You know, that doesn't happen with every single release with me, but Dear Boy have been doing that since EP number 1. Anything at All is a really hard track to move past. And that freaking chorus though, oh man, definition of catchy. Anything at All, like if I were to put a certain feeling to it, it's like throwing caution to the wind and running down the sidewalks or racing to somebody that you really, really care about. This song, it just feels so natural and it feels very true here. I really don't know how to explain this band just gets this feeling out of me. And again, everything just feels so natural and pure on this EP and in this song, and unfortunately that's something that's lacking in a lot of music today. For EP number 3, Dear Boy still has their charm. And then we get to the final track, Love Interest, which was the first song I talked about off of this EP. It's the EP's first single, and I believe this track is almost a year old now. This was our first sweet taste of the Strawberry EP, and I gotta tell you, for a track that's almost a year old, it feels like an old friend at this point. The smooth and springy vibes are still fresh on this track, as fresh as the morning scent, and still one catchy ringer that'll catch my ears at any time of the year. Even if I had just listened to the song like a week or a month ago, this one is like, when it starts, it's gotta play the entire way through. And it ends the EP off pretty dang beautifully. So if you weren't clued in at this point, I'll just say it right now, I feel the Strawberry EP from Dear Boy is really, really perfect. From start to finish, it's a fantastic third release from the band, and it does enough different and it does enough familiar to where the fresh is fresh and the familiar is fresh. Nothing feels retreaded, nothing feels too far from the mothership. From their self-titled EP in 2013, to their Parts of a Flower EP in 2016, to now here in 2019 with the Strawberry EP, Dear Boy continues to just grasp at this feeling and sound that'll never fail to infect me. It'll never fail to infect me with confidence and then some. Spring always comes early when there's a new Dear Boy release on the horizon, and spring is most definitely here with the Strawberry EP. I'm going to give the Strawberry EP from Dear Boy a 5 out of 5. If you would like to listen to this EP, I will leave a link to the band's Bandcamp page in the description below. You can stream it for free there, and you can purchase it there as well. You can even get a copy of the EP on vinyl for like 15 bucks. And I'll also leave a link to Spotify where you'll be able to stream the EP as well. Dear Boy is not a band to ignore. It might take them some time in between releases, but the time that you spend waiting, coupled with the time that you'll spend listening to them in between releases, it's all very, very, very worth it. Whatever comes next from Dear Boy, yet again, I am all strapped in and I am ready for it. Dear Boy, the Strawberry EP, 5 out of 5. Definitely going to be one of my favorite EP releases of the year. And that pretty much is going to wrap up this review, everybody. I have been ShinRobjira. Do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next week. Bye, everybody.